Hey YouTube, Booker here, and today I'm going to go ahead and try to get you on board with trying out Battlefield 2042. Generally speaking, the game doesn't have such a favorable view in the Battlefield community, and honestly, kinda warranted. But a lot of the issues that plagued the game at launch have been resolved in some sort of way, and the game goes on sale enough that it's relatively cheap to buy. I think you can get the copy for like under $5 when all the Battlefields go on sale. So if you're looking for something new to play while you fill the void of not being selected for Battlefield Labs, let me help you out here. First things first, specialists have been changed considerably since launch to the point that they actually now fit into class rules like other battlefields. If you were here for launch or, a couple of seasons after, you may remember that class gadgets weren't locked to classes at all. You could pick Sundance, who was the wingsuit lady in the game, and just jump off of cliffs and fly through the sky with a rocket launcher and be a complete menace to air vehicles, which, didn't really feel fair or fun for, a lot of vehicle players in the game. But nowadays, that's not possible anymore. Rocket launchers are locked to engineer classes, just like other historic gadgets have. Like the tugs is locked to recon. You won't see supports running around with like anti-tank mines, etc., etc. Overall, it leads to better game structure and improves team play rather considerably now. Specialists do still have their unique gadgets, which do mainly lend themselves to helping the team in some way. Angel, for example, still has the loadout drop, which is amazing to have if you're hunting vehicles, since it replenishes all your gadgets ammo and your regular ammo. Blasco has an anti-spotting device, which is honestly kind of overtuned now that I'm thinking about it. It jams the area. It also reveals any equipment in the area, and on top of that, it keeps you from not being spotted. Pretty crazy when I think about it now. Irish has barricades and also a mini APS system, which can make all the difference when it comes to reviving someone. It's just really nice to have all of these features around because it makes the team play feel very, very alive and well. I've seen a lot of people on forums or Reddit or anything saying that team play in this game doesn't exist, but I have to disagree pretty heavily. Every 2 games or so, I would say that there's probably at least a row that's out here hacking helicopters or using the SOFLAM trying to detonate them so that the engineers can shoot them down and they're not even in the squad. It's really interesting and really fun to play with. Next up are legacy maps. Legacy maps have made their way into the standard rotation finally. There are a total of 6 different maps from 3 different games, those being Battlefield 1942, Battlefield Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3. The maps are El Amiens, Battle of the Bulge, Arica Harbor, Valparaiso, No Shark Canals, and finally Caspian Border. These maps can be queued into on any playlist and will show up occasionally with all the other 2042 maps. 2042 has also gotten some additional maps as well, most of which play well, but some of the maps are not really that great, and the maps in this game are kind of a big pain point for the community. A lot of them boil down to not having enough cover for infantry for pushes and such, and you just basically end up getting farmed by vehicles either on the ground or from the air. No map shows this worse than El Amiens though. For those that don't know, the render distance for Battlefield 1942 maps were basically nothing when the game came out because computers couldn't handle that. But now that we have computers that can handle that, it shows some pretty big flaws in the map design and everything like that. The main issue that the map has going for it is that there's a massive hill looking down over all of B sector, which is 3 flags there. And on top of that, it can look over the other sector, I think it's A or C, I can't remember, I'm sorry, which provides very little cover from snipers and aircraft alike. And on top of that, this map has a fuck ton of vehicles too, so you have to deal with the snipers, the aircraft, and ground vehicles all coming to fuck your shit over and over again. It's so annoying. Out of all the legacy maps, and honestly all the fucking 2042 maps, El Amiens is probably the worst. I'm not even gonna lie, it gets me heated just thinking about it, I'm sorry. These next 2 points I'm going to make come with the base game, but I think they're pretty notable to what 2042 brings to the table. I know that people like to shit on 2042 and say that nothing good came from it, but that's not true because we have Battlefield Portal in it. Battlefield Portal allows you to play those legacy maps I was talking about in the closest way possible to the release games. In addition to that, you can make your own custom games and host your own community server if you want to. Now, these servers aren't persistent like they were in Battlefield 4, but if you have a Discord community or if you're in a clan, it's not going to be that difficult to keep them up and populated, and if they do go down, all you have to do is just bring them back up. If you like hardcore servers, you can find quite a few in them in the Battlefield Portal area, and if you just want to make some funny game modes where you have 1 health and you're getting chased by people that can only have knives, you can do that too. I bring up Portal since Battlefield 6 leaks seem to have content indicating that Portal might be a thing. So if you want to, get used to hosting a server for Battlefields, you might want to try it in Battlefield 2042. Next is 64 versus 64 player battles. If you think these sound absolutely insane, then yeah, you'd be correct. Though, if you want to turn your brain off and just have an intense game where nothing goes right, then 64 versus 64 Conquest or Breakthrough may be calling your name. I bring this up because Battlefield 6 does not look like it's going to be having these types of battles in the game due to mixed response from developers and players alike, so this game will probably be the only one where you can experience it. Personally, I do prefer the classic 32 versus 32, but like I said earlier, it's fun to go ahead and try the 64 versus 64 player battles every now and then if I just want to, not think too much or just, have a good time just seeing everything go to shit. For those that remember MAG, which was 128 versus 128, basically think that, but on a smaller scale. Now, to end the video, I'm going to go ahead and warn you about some things that you might encounter and might not like when playing the game. I'm sure you've seen some clips of 2042 where it looks like players are slide hopping like all the time, and while I'm not going to pretend like that movement doesn't exist, I will say that the average player doesn't usually play like that. I usually just slide normally and attack sprint to get the areas, and I can typically find myself between 1st and 5th on the leaderboard without having to sweat. Just don't be surprised if you do see a phallic running around with like a PP29 while slide hopping and stimming herself. You can counter this pretty easily anyway by just having better positioning and all that. There are also two problem vehicles that you'll run into, those being the Nightbird and the Ram. The Nightbird is the little bird but just extremely agile for no reason, and skilled pilots can seem invincible in it. Thankfully, there is a character dedicated to shooting out aircraft, and her name is Liz. She has a guided TV missile which you can just slam into any aircraft that's bothering you, though you are very vulnerable while you're using it. The Ram is an armored transport that is absolutely stacked with weapons and protections for no damn reason, and is the most annoying vehicle in the game in my opinion, bar none. Thankfully, this can be countered easily by RAW, since Ram drivers will typically just drive onto point, activate APS, and then try to kill everything in sight. If you have RAW can just go ahead and hack the vehicle while they have APS up, and then it can't really drive away that fast at all, so then you can just lay into it with your rockets and everything. It's really nice. And that's all I got for you today. If you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like and a comment, and if you didn't like the video, just go ahead and leave a dislike and leave a comment telling me what I can do better. I'm thinking of making a how to squad lead video, and I'm also thinking of making some Arc Raiders content, since that's right around the corner as well, and I'm really excited about it. You can find some raw gameplay on my channel as well if you're really into that, and I'm hoping to make some more content soon. Thanks for watching. Okay, love you, bye.